can you explain the difference between attractors and fluctuators, perhaps in the context of Australian rules football, if possible, or a field-based sport?
So if you take AFL, right, it's mayhem. It's basically two packs of dogs trying to rip each other apart without much structure in it. So if you have that, you have a very complex body and a very complex environment. If you combine those two, you're not capable of controlling it anymore. It's too complicated. So there's one thing you can do is make your body simpler. So where you have 150 joints that can move in all directions, make sure 140 are joints that you don't need to control. You do that by co-contracting. So a joint gets into its sweet spot and stays there because all the muscles are interacting with each other, and you find that sweet spot where your joint is strongest. And those are almost self-stabilizing components of movement. And those self-stabilizing components of movement are called attractors. And that means that you don't need to control them, otherwise than just sending a big signal for stability, and that you interact with the environment with only very few components. Those are the fluctuations that are, let's say, controlled for good interaction with the complex environment. Mm-hmm. So the body itself has to be made simpler, less moving parts, so to speak. So there are only very few left for interacting with the environment. If you're a batsman in baseball, right, then you could use all these joints to adapt to the flight path of the ball, the height and the velocity inside out. But what we found is that you only use 3 joints for that. And all the other joints are not interested in where the ball is at all. If you look at good tennis players, the way they hit the ball, the whole action of the arm is actually not interested in where the ball is at all. That's done by the trunk, leaning forward, backwards, sideways. So the arm is an attractor, the trunk is a fluctuation. And what you need in AFL is that you're very good at using the attractors to make the body simpler, so you get fluctuations that are perfect for interacting with the environment.
Makes sense.
That means you're very good at building these attractors and very good at applying these attractors.